Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Apo, and my co-host / co-founder Vincent, we dive into the Disney Plus streaming service and we tell you, the listener and the viewer, what is worth it and what is not. But today we're jumping out of the Disney Plus streaming service yet again for another Warner Brothers property. We are doing 2021's very own Mortal Kombat.
With a K.
With a K. Absolutely. Vincent, we're here. Like I was thinking, I'm just excited to be here with you, you know? This is the first time in a long time that we've actually gone together and watched a film.
Yeah,
at the
held
theaters.
hands and everything.
Yeah, we're next to each other at least.
Yeah.
Then we got like dinner after, and look, we had an interesting dinner experience, which we will be sharing on AD. So if
on the Patreon, so sign up, patreon.com/thebackcatalogue.
Yeah, dude, $2, you will get over 38 pieces of content.
Far out.
For $2?
That's a deal.
That's big time deals, man.
Big time deals.
Better deals than what we got today. But Vincent, we're changing things up because I don't have my phone on me anymore.
Yeah.
You will be doing the facts.
Yeah.
And by the facts, I just mean the ratings on the IMDb's and the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So hit him with them, Vincent.
Absolutely.
Hit him
All
with
right. What do we got here?
Hit him with it, Vincent.
All right. So it's got a 44% on Metacritic.
100%.
Is that what we
100%.
do?
Yeah, we do Metacritic. Strictly.
It's got a 6.3 on IMDb and 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. Bob Hoose said it's heart-snatching, entrail-spilling, limb-hacking, body-splitting, Mortal Kombat gore flows unabated.
Dude, Bob Cruz, man. Bob Cruz hitting you early with a good review.
That didn't even sound like a coherent sentence to me.
But to Bob Cruz it did. And Bob Cruz
Siddhant Adlakha said Mortal Kombat is a big-budget Hollywood production that feels like a fan-made prequel. So my man Siddhant has absolutely hit it right in the spot there.
So Vincent, there's some things I want to talk about.
This is a spoiler review.
This is a spoiler review.
We also just finished watching this.
Yes, we did.
Like we were eating dinner in silence.
I will say one thing as well, just to spoil things for not only the listener and the viewer, but also for Vincent. This is my second viewing of this.
Have you watched this before? Oh,
but I was like, going in like, wow, I cannot believe that this has occurred. Like I was saying that.
That's what you were saying, like multiple times. I was like, Apo, shut up, bro. Can you believe Scorpion is in here in the movie?
But there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Like I've got my notes here. Like my notes are here. There's nothing on the page. But Vincent, first of all, I want to tell the viewers if they're seeing this on YouTube to like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
You know, usually the people that watch are already liked and subscribed. But, you know, if you're new to this channel, help us out, bro. Secondly, I want to talk about our previous history with Mortal Kombat. These are just some things that we're gonna touch on. Our previous history with Mortal Kombat, what it means to us, you know, what it means to us in the heart.
What a Mortal Kombat means.
What a Mortal Kombat means. I also want to talk about the characters of this film and, you know, our favorites, our least favorites. We'll go through the hits and misses, but I want to finish this off, Vincent, by asking the age-old question. Is this the best video game movie that has come out up to this day? Which, look, it's like, you know, there's not many contenders for like a good video game movie. Unfortunately, it's a weird thing that, you know, everyone like does swings. There's a whole lot of misses. Yeah, I would say there's a whole lot of misses. Yeah. But we'll get into that. You'll find out definitively if this is the best video game movie to date. But Vincent, let's talk about, well, we'll give the basic synopsis of this.
So they're going to fight each other.
Yeah. It was meant to be like...
They're going to say some lines from the video games, like flawless victory, and then look at the camera and do like finger guns. Bro, you seen that? I chopped the man's head off and like, he didn't even touch me.
That's exactly true. Oh, I also wanted to say another thing. We're going to talk about South Australia.
Oh, yes.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We may as well get into that first, just real quick. Because Vinny's synopsis was perfectly correct. There was meant to be like, there's an Earth realm and there's an outer realm. And you know, if it's not on Earth, like they're bad people. But that's just what we assume.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah,
essentially there's been battles for for centuries between the Earth realm and the Outer Realm. 9 out of 10 Outer Realms won. And if they win 10 out of 10, then they get to take over.
Yeah, like 9 out of 10 Outer Realms recommend.
Yeah, dude, like the dentists are there. They're in the Outer Realm. But there has to be a final tournament to see if Earth can take back what they, rightfully have, which is their Earth.
Yeah, how are they going to have rules about like you have to win 10 and then you can take over Earth, but they're just killing folk before the tournament?
Yeah, so essentially...
That's like some man's getting changed in the shower and you just like shank him. And like, well, you can't fight anymore. I guess I win. It's not how it works, Conor McGregor. That's
not how it works, Conor McGregor. And that's exactly what he did to win his first belt. He stabbed the man before the fight. Any Conor McGregor fans, comment below, argue with us in the comments, bro. We've got the facts. I've got them here. Look at it. But essentially it's meant to, you're thinking there's going to be a Mortal Kombat, but the reality is it's just like, we're going to fight before the Mortal Kombat even occurs. Because I'm assuming that will be the sequel if this movie is successful enough to have a sequel. But let's talk about South Australia. There's no way
they're making this a sequel.
Hold on a second. Let's talk about South Australia. Because this is important here. We're South Australian locals here, man. There's people we saw within this film. We've probably seen them walking down the street. Remember when they're in the gym, there's like the dude standing at the door like, hey, I'm a bodyguard. That's that comedian, that Clay guy that really told basketball folk.
I don't know who that is.
Clay, shout out you. I don't know who you
are. Oh, the bloke
doesn't know who you are.
No, I think the guy that that means.
Yeah, shout out you, but shout out anyone that was in this film. Because this is in South Australia. A lot of this film was filmed in Thebarton. Not Thebarton, Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide. Did you see when they're driving through, Jax is driving through looking for Sub-Zero?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like...
Dude, it is, 100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's respect.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, man, like...
That's your home, essentially.
That's my home. Imagine if they just saw us like we're doing content out there.
Bro. Have you seen the Yumbo?
That's where we park, usually for our Yumbo.
Sub-Zero just like freezes it. And he goes, I've had it. It's trash. Don't worry about it. Thanks, Sub-Zero.
See, we missed out on opportunity.
Yeah, outfit looks trash.
Vincent, let's get into the characters. We gave South Australia it's due. Well, also like movies in South Australia, that's great. We got to get into one at some point.
Yeah.
And like we'll just
I want to get killed in a movie at some point in my
how
life.
Good would that be? Oh, and we just went like back catalog gear, like Strictly.
But I want to say like, oh, I'm dead. I want to say that specifically. Oh, but bro, you killed me. How could you do this? I've got friends and family.
Like,
and then make the man feel bad.
Given the cheesiness of this movie, like that would have fit in perfectly.
Yeah, I feel like the main bad guys, good guys, or whatever. If all the people they killed were like, my wife and kids are going to be so upset. My kids are going to grow up without a father. And then the hero or the villains could be like, well, I can't do this anymore. Are you for real?
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. And that's what a movie like this would be. Like,
because the only reason they kill them is because they're just like some faceless goon.
Yeah, absolutely. You're saying if the good guys heard the bad guys say, oh my God, I've got like 6 children, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh man, well.
Like I'm in one of those Christian like religions where you got to have like 45 kids to get into heaven. I'm one of them. Like you've just orphaned 45 kids. Are you going to take care of them?
That's a lot of responsibility. Like, do I have to take on the religion as well? Yes. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right.
You now have to marry my wife.
My 17 wives, like they need to be married.
Oh man, yeah.
I don't know.
Shout out sister wives.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like that specifically.
Like we can't get
some
into
man's just like, I've got to be like God. I've got to have all the wives. I've got to have all the kids, and then I'll be like God.
That's wild. We should get one on the podcast, and like all their 46 kids. Like, do we have enough space? Will we have to get like QR codes in here? Like, there'll be too many people.
Excuse me, have you checked in?
Have you sanitized before you come in? Get the sanitizer on all 46 of them, bro.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the characters because, well, actually, first I want to say, did you play Mortal Kombat or watch
so
any
I
of them?
played a lot of. I have very fond memories of Mortal Kombat because I used to go to my cousin's house. Well, my grandparents' house, and they just like had a house attached to the house.
That's Italian things.
That's 100% Italian things.
Yeah.
And we played Mortal Kombat on PlayStation 2.
Right.
And we'd also play Mortal Kombat karts, which arguably would make a better movie. But Mortal Kombat, you know the characters.
Yeah, well, this is the
me.
thing is, this is the thing. Mortal Kombat is a game that I've experienced in all throughout my life. But also the thing for me was the 1995 movie.
Yeah, see, I've never seen any of the movies.
It's cheesy. It's cheesy as all, as like the burger that you had like this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that I feel that if I went back and watched it now, it would not be good.
Yeah, for me, that was Spider-Man 2.
We'll argue about that one day.
We're
going to do the Spider-Man trilogy, just so you know. I know it's not on Disney Plus, but we're going to do it. But
everything will be on Disney Plus at some point because Disney will end up buying like everything.
Everything. Like our content will be there, I hope.
Yeah.
Like, they can pay us $40, we'll do it.
100%.
We'll do it for free after $40. Like we've got that, we can settle with that. I have played the games, never been good at them, but I have enjoyed the games. Because like, what do you do in Mortal Kombat? You beat up folk, you like do a fatality, and maybe you do a friendship.
You pause every... Yeah, that's right, when you just leave them or something.
Or like they hug each other at the end, they like give respect and whatnot.
Yeah, no, my experience playing Mortal Kombat was me and my brother or me and my cousins going, like pressing the buttons as hard as we can and then pausing and then being like, okay, so if I do like up, down, left, right, L1, L2, X square, then I can like shoot fire. And then it'd be do that and like, no, I didn't do it. Let me have a check again of what's the code.
Yeah.
And then like my brother would do it.
And then he'd do it and he'd like, because you were looking at the wrong one.
I was looking at the wrong
one.
one.
You were Scorpion, he was Sub-Zero. You were looking at the Sub-Zero side.
I was trying to do Sub-Zero things, but I needed to do like get over here things.
Yeah, we'll talk about get over here things because there's a specific thing I want to talk about with that later. But
you really like talking about things later. You don't like talking about things now, do you?
Because like it leads to like the end of the movie. So I want to talk about the characters now. We're going to spend a bit of time on the characters. There's a new character introduced in this film, Cole Young. And like 10 out of 10, he's trash.
Bro, honestly, this seems like something that if you put it on YouTube, people would be like, yeah, this is really good. They've done really well.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely YouTube quality.
Look, Cole Young, he's a character that is the whole movie. Let me tell you about the whole movie.
The whole movie sucks.
As a movie, Vincent, we let me tell you something. We have different opinions here. As a movie, this is not a good movie, right? You know, the way that the plot progresses, the things that they do, the characters, the things that they say. This is like they had a spine of it, like the skeleton of a script, and they're like, let's just use it. Like we've got enough because especially I feel with this Cole Young dude, a lot of his lines are like, the only thing I'm working for is my family.
Yeah, who we've seen like 3.5 minutes of in total.
Yeah.
The best is like he just leaves. He's like, no, I got to do this, and then he goes out to the desert and he doesn't say anything to them. And like, he just legs it.
He's got his iPhone. Like, he could call him.
Bro, he just goes with Jax. He goes find Sonya, and then that's it.
Yeah. But
I got to do it. But as soon as he sees his family, then he's like, now I can punch twice as hard. That was the worst bit for me.
The Goro fight?
No, not the Goro fight. Just the whole thing of like, oh, I'm getting beaten. But then he looks at like his daughter or his wife, and he's like, but now I'm strong because you're hurting my family.
Oh, that's what he said. He was like, I'm doing this all for my family. And like, people were like, well, obviously some family like thing is going to happen. Like he's going to be watching Family Ties with like Michael J. Fox. And he's going to be like, bro, Jesus, like I've got my suit. I've got my Aquaman suit on.
Oh dude, 100% Aquaman suit.
It's 100% Aquaman suit. I would say that Cole Young was the weakest point in this film for me.
Oh man. I feel like the actors were not good.
Let me tell you one thing. This is where I differ with you, Vincent, and any listener/viewer that is agreeing with Vincent here. Liu Kang, Kung Lao.
Okay, they were good.
Shang Tsung.
Who's Shang Tsung?
The bad dude that's just like, give me your souls, bro. Like, I love it.
Yeah, no, I didn't rate him. Dude. I rated Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Kung Lao, yeah.
Kung Lao.
They went all in. And I mean, obviously, Kano as well. We'll get into Kano specifically because there's a bit we can talk about with Kano. But they went all in. They were not holding back. I loved every second of it. When Liu Kang's just like, you know, doing Liu Kang things, he's like telling
beads,
people.
He's doing like half, you know.
He's flicking his sash back.
Oh, yeah, that was. Every time he went to a fight, he like flicked his sash back and then just like smacked some dude.
And then he's just ripped.
Oh, yeah.
Like beyond ripped, dude.
I was looking at it, I was like, man, they're like muscles. Like, do I have them? Like, where are them? Where are those ones?
How come he comes out? Like, my muscles don't come out. I think that those two characters especially, I think that Kung Lao was like the GOAT tier. Dude just popped out of a hat at one point.
That was killer when
Was that wild?
the hat just like flew out, and I was like, "But we throwing hats now?"
And then he just came out, and I love it that every time he like puts on his hat, he like fixes up the.
Yeah, no, okay, sorry, I was fixed on the Cole Young, his family. I mean, his family didn't get much of a thing, but they were pretty.
Yeah, it was just
average,
like generic. Like, look,
also, Jax was, I think he was a bit weak.
yeah, he didn't get as much, but he did. So I'll get into why I love this movie. Like, I love this movie, right? Like, I've seen it twice, and like my idea of this has not changed. You know how sometimes you watch a movie, you're like, oh man, I was having a bad day, but look how great this is. And then you watch it another time, you're like, now that I'm having a good day, I should watch this movie to make my day even better. And you're like, look at all these flaws, right? I can see all the flaws in this movie. But the reason I loved it is because it is so cheesy, is because they just go.
Well, probably
in
because
some
it's
cases,
almost exactly the same as the 1995 one.
Yeah, yeah, probably. In some cases, they go all out to just be like that next level of macho, that next level of cheesy, that next level of just, they're trying to be exactly like the video game. But the reason I love Jax is there's a fight with him and Sub-Zero at the start where he loses his arms. And he like kicks Sub-Zero away, and Sub-Zero's like, oh man, he's like, kicked me. And he's like, I'll serve 6 times. Or like, what is he? He says, I've had 6.
I've had 6 tours or something.
I've had 6 tours. And then he just gets clapped up. Like
6 tours in a movie, brother. And then sorry, see, your arms are gone.
Your arms are gone. But that was hilarious to me. That was great.
No, the best line in the movie. You already know what this is.
Yeah, so in the theaters today, Vinny and I were like laughing the most. There was no one else laughing at this point. It's when Cole Young is talking to Raiden.
Yeah.
Raiden.
Yeah, you tell her.
Raiden's saying like, you're not worth it. Like, you're not worthy of this. Like, we got to send you back to your family. And then he was like talking about how, we thought you were going to be the next big thing because your ancestors are, Scorpion is your ancestors. He wasn't Scorpion at that point, but Scorpion, he's your ancestor. And then he's like, I haven't got any ancestors. I'm an orphan from the south side of Chicago.
Dude, that was too funny.
And the thing that makes it funny is I always think that man's just like, he was like, you know what, I'm going to add a bit of pepper to this. Like the script said, I'm just an orphan. Yeah,
that's right. He definitely improv that.
Because it doesn't run on, doesn't like flow on properly either. No. Like the way that he says, he's like, I'm an orphan from the south side of Chicago. And maybe the demographic for Mortal Kombat is from the south side of Chicago.
Who knows?
But that was great. I think that the rest of the characters, unfortunately, Sonya Blade was quite weak. Yeah. Not like physically weak. Like she was doing crazy things. She was doing wild things. Like hit someone with lasers, like their spine was just sticking out.
Yeah, that's true. At the end.
Yeah, but she wasn't given like good enough stuff. A lot of her stuff is like, oh, I'm not worthy because I haven't got the tattoo, I haven't got the birthmark of the dragon, right? But I want to get into Kano because the 2 reasons I want to get into Kano. One is because like this is what the world is going to think Australians are like.
I know, that's what, because you know what? At the start, he was hilarious.
Oh, so funny at the start.
But then, then there was a point where he was just doing like racist and sexist stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the egg roll bit, like he started getting like.
Yeah.
He called Kung
Pao. I was like, bro, come on. Like you've shown that you can make better content.
Yeah.
Because he was, he was a kind of an average Australian, like in most of the things, like, bro, like what the hell are you doing kind of thing,
Oh yeah. Like he was completely out of that world and was like reacting as, I guess, what Americans would assume Australians would act as.
Yeah. If you grew up strictly watching Crocodile Dundee. Yeah. It's the only thing you ever watched.
But like for some reason, Crocodile Dundee was R-rated.
Yeah.
So he'd just swear in every second.
Yeah. Honestly, the first bit of the movie, almost up to when they got to like Raiden's palace.
That was his last bit of like, this guy's hilarious.
Yeah. And then it was like, this guy's the worst. Like, please don't show him anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're doing more damage to Australia.
Yeah. Because the chat, like Josh Lucas is the actor Australian actor. Great dude. Like I never met him, but he looks like a great dude, right?
Good actor.
Good actor. The start is, it is very like, it's hyper like everything else in this movie. But at least like he's a bad guy, but he's not just like an awful dude.
Yeah.
But then once he gets into the palace, he just becomes awful.
Oh, so bad. And they're like, oh, we're trying to make you angry.
Yeah.
Well, now I can shoot lasers.
Now I can shoot lasers and I'm
The way that they get their powers is pretty trash.
It is. It's like, to get your powers, you have to go through adversity of some sort. And really, the only two people that get their powers Sonya gets her powers, but that's like because she kills a man.
Yeah.
She gets her powers, but
Jax just like lifts a big stone.
that's probably the worst one. Like, oh my goodness, look at my arms.
Oh my goodness, my arms.
Like, dude had good arms though. Like pre Sub-Zero.
Dude, I was looking at it, I was like, this man's huge.
But I guess that's what they had to do. They were like, this is Jax. As a fan of this content, this is Jax. He's going to have metal arms. Look at his arms before, man. That's what they did to you.
Right, I have to say, I really enjoyed the like nods to the games and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was great. And I don't think that was, too cheesy for the movie. Because at the end of the game, it's a video game movie. You need to put them in there.
Yes. And this is the thing. When it comes to video game movies, right? Video gamers want to go in there looking for that fans. They want that fan service. Yeah. They don't want it to be like, like Assassin's Creed. Have you ever seen the Assassin's Creed movie? It's like, let's try to make this movie like amazing. Let's try to make it like a heartfelt, like, it's going to be shot so well or whatever. And let's take out all the stuff that people loved about Assassin's Creed. Like, let's leave. Don't worry about it. Like, we'll do one jump. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll do like 2 things of parkour.
Honestly, fans of Mortal Kombat, I'm sure, would have been happy with one of the dudes, Cole Young, getting trained up. Then he's just fighting everyone in the tournament.
Yeah.
And that's the movie.
That's what was good about
And right at the end, he says flawless victory.
Yeah. That was what was good about the 1995 one, is which they actually go to the tournament. The tournament and they fight the people there. I would love to see like another movie with the tournament, but the reality is, people who love Mortal Kombat, I know that there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of lore that, because this is a video game that's spanned on for like almost now 3 generations of gamers.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Right? They've had movies, they've had that YouTube TV series, they've had a whole bunch of stuff, probably comics and things that have like made the lore even like deeper. But the reality is, like, you play Mortal Kombat because you want to be like Freddy Krueger and you want to punch like Jason Voorhees in the balls and you want to see like the X-ray vision of his balls exploding. Like that's what you go there for.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And that's why I think that this movie was the perfect amount of fan service, because it was like, I'm Liu Kang, like, look at my muscles. And now, hey, look, Kung Lao, he's just like sawed a woman in half with his hat.
Wild. That was one of my favorite bits in the movie.
That was
when he's
good.
like there and this lady, I don't even know what she's doing. She's just like flying around, pretending. It's like, anyway, she's flying around, and then Kung Lao is just like there.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like close his eyes?
Yeah, to like just
he gets
block
in
out
the
all the
zone,
noise. Yeah.
And oh my goodness, she comes in and he jumps on her back and then throws his hat down and he just saws the woman. Yeah, dude.
I will say the fatalities in this were great. The one, like, I mean, I feel bad for the actor that we're because these are real people behind these characters that we are putting down as well, which I do feel bad for it. But
Cole Young should have done a better job.
And like, even his fatality was not that good against Goro.
Yeah, that was like
Goro. That like, I mean, Goro's like, dude, if we're talking Goro, that's like one of the top tier Mortal Kombat characters.
Like, if you have, if you're just starting playing Mortal Kombat, that's who you're picking.
Yeah. Like, does he have 4 penises? Like, you don't know. You'd assume.
Bro, this is family friendly content.
That's like anatomical terms.
Does he have 4 appendages?
Flipping. But I think that the only cool thing about Goro was his hair. His hair was just like, I think they got like the hair simulations like perfect.
And they forgot about the body. They were like, we spent too much money on the hair. Yeah, the facial, the face, what are they called? Faces he made.
The faces he makes.
Was so weird.
The expressions?
Yeah, the expressions. That's the one.
Yeah.
He looked like like a lost child at some points.
You
You know,
might-
like he gets his arm chopped off and he's like, "Oh, bro, you hurt my arm. I got a boo-boo."
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's in tremendous amounts of pain. It's more like, oh, this is inconvenient for me. Mum, what do I do? I think that his entrance also could have been a lot cooler because his entrance, he's in the outer world and he like opens the door and then Shang Tsung's like, Prince Goro, bro, how good that you've come, like welcome. And then like later he comes out and he like puts his hands on the doors and all 4 hands come out.
I thought that was all right.
But I was going to say, imagine if like when he fights Cole Young, if that was the first thing you see of
Oh,
him.
yeah.
They're like, oh, we're sending like the big gun out for Cole Young, and then you just see the 1 hand, 2 hand, 3, 4.
Yeah, like if they called him
And
from
then 1,
his,
2, 3, 4 penises as well.
you wanted him to call him by, his like, not his formal title, Prince Goro. You would have hoped he would be like, "Oh, Daniel,
Yeah.
can you just go down and like fix something, like just fix the plumbing, bro?"
And I'd have been like, who's Daniel? No, I just wish they didn't have that
Yeah,
one.
no,
that weird.
I agree with you there. I didn't really like the fighting of a lot of it either.
I think that the fighting I think that could have been done better. Like this is a Mortal Kombat film, but the fighting that occurred
I just
between
want one man's on one side, one man's on the other side, and they just fight.
yeah.
And then some of the kicks miss because you're too far away from the bloke.
Speaking of that, the best thing that happened was when Liu Kang is versing Kano
I was about
and he like trips him up and then does it again.
No,
And
that
then-
wasn't Liu Kang. That was Kung Lao.
no, it was Liu Kang.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, is that all the moves you got? Because that's 100%. If you got a move in Mortal Kombat, you're just using it.
That was good. And then he goes to jump and he's like, oh.
He jumps too early.
That was hilarious, man.
That's the best. That's the best level of fan service right there because that's what
90% of the players of Mortal Kombat do. They press the same button like, this is working, like this is good. And the other person has got to take the time to actually work out how to counteract that.
and you get frustrated because like you're like he just keeps doing this. Why is this allowed? Why is this allowed? Like has he got fatigue? Can he get fatigued?
You got fatigue. That's what you have your health bar and you have your fatigue bar.
I think that the best fight scene probably of the lot was the opening.
I was about to say the first one when he gets and he puts the rope around the
Yeah.
knife.
To
Whatever.
like do scorpion things. But him just like going up against all those goons with his sword.
Yeah.
That was great. You go into that, you're like, man, we're in Mortal Kombat now. And Joe Taslim, to have Joe Taslim in your movie.
He's a big actor, isn't he?
He's a big actor now, I mean, probably not started with the Raid, but got his like big like hit with the Raid 1.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
He was like the sergeant in that movie. And if you haven't seen the Raid, you gotta go watch it.
Obviously, if you're above the age of 18, because
Oh yeah, well, I mean, if you're Mortal Kombat, come on, bro. But that guy's been like kicking goals. He's been in Star Trek. He's been in Fast and the Furious,
he's been in other movies.
but like
He keeps doing them.
now he's in Mortal Kombat. Like
Yeah.
he's on the cover of Mortal Kombat.
Even saying that the starting scene when he was there with his wife. That wasn't a good scene.
It's like I love you. Oh wow.
I'm so grateful to have you. Looking like a stunned mullet.
He's just like, the hell? Like we have 2 children. Why is this coming out now? Yeah, no. That's what, and as I've said, Vincent, the acting in this is not very good.
No.
The plot progression, the script.
The plot is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The plot was like this dude was writing and he's like, man, my hand's getting tired. You know what?
I'm
Take
gonna
out the
just leave it
tournament.
there. I'm gonna just leave it there. Call it a day. Hey, what do you reckon of this? It's all right.
Look, I'm going to get into how I feel about this movie. Is there any other like things?
I want to talk about the outfits because the outfits were trash.
Let's talk about the outfits.
Sub-Zero. He's one of the coolest mans. The mask didn't fit properly.
Yeah, his mask was a bit weird.
Same with Scorpion when he rocked up at the end.
I didn't mind Scorpion's mask.
It was better, but still, Sub-Zero looked like the armor looked like plastic.
It did.
So did the Soul Sucker man,
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
Bro, he looked good, man.
Nah, his armor didn't look right.
Dude, he said, your soul is mine. Like, he said that in this movie.
But also,
You know? That was crazy. I
that
love
man's
bit.
just grabbed Kung Lao and was like, yeah, you've sold his mind. Like he couldn't do anything. He could have just done them to any of their heads.
He could, that's the thing. He's one of those like all powerful, but he's not meant to actually be involved.
But he just decides to get.
He just
like,
decides.
what?
There's no rules.
Why stop there?
You know, you remember the opening of Dragon Ball Evolution, where it's like the only rule is there are no rules.
Yeah, they were meant to say that in this movie.
Look, all I'm going to say, Vincent, is if I get a movie, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If I get a movie that is based on a game in which you just slap folk around and then you like, you shoot them in the head, you see their brains come out, but somehow they're still like ready to fight. You know, like you play a Sonya Blade, you shoot a dude and like it goes like the X-ray thing. Yeah. And then he's like, oh man, I'm still alive. I'm still here.
The best, because I played the new game. You actually bought me that game. The new Mortal Kombat on PS4.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, you'd have, the bone breakers or whatever, and you'd do a special move and you'd break his spine. You'd break like 3 limbs. Like his head's cracked in. But then Mans gets up and does like the sweeping kick 5 times in a row.
And then you're like doing these ones.
Yeah.
And they're like the fatality and whatnot.
You're like, bro, I've broken his spine. Like he's Batman in Dark Knight Rises. Like he has to get on that swing and like they have to pull him up. Fix his
his back into place. Like, no, don't worry about that. There's no spinal cord going through there. It's just the bones. They forgot about like the fact like the other anatomy.
A loose bag of bones in there.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan strictly forgot about like anatomy and physiology. Because like if you break your back, like first of all go to the doctors, like get an ambulance, but don't get on like a sling and just be like hoisting some guy up so he can like snap his back into place.
Man,
unless he's Bruce Wayne. But if you give me a video game that is strictly about beating up folk, and then you put that on screen, you get Liu Kang looking shredded. You get Kung Lao looking awesome. Dude, everything about Kung Lao was awesome.
Kung Lao was probably my favorite character.
My least favorite thing...
He died.
It is a shame he died. My least favorite thing about this whole thing was Raiden's eyes. Like he had the electricity eyes, but they didn't look right.
They didn't look right.
It looked like they put like a Snapchat filter on the bloke.
Oh, we run out of CGI budget. Wait, guys, have you seen this new Snapchat filter? You can put like bunny ears on you. What's the next one? Blue eyes. We can use that.
Bro, get it in.
Yeah.
And like it's just like the director's just like shooting the footage and it's like, we'll just do it through my phone, don't worry.
Why does the Raiden footage look so grainy compared to the rest? Why is it vertical?
I forgot to turn his phone, bro. If you give me a movie that has, for the majority of it, there were some like bad costumes, but for the majority of it, like some decent costumes. Like Liu Kang, Jax is just a man with metal arms, so they tick that box. Scorpion, I think he had a good outfit.
No, when Scorpion came back again,
the second time,
that was killer.
Yeah, Melina
was she looked cool.
What's that guy's name? The dude that's like
with the hammer.
Nah, I don't care.
Oh, the dude that looked like Predator.
Kabul.
Yeah, he was sick.
Yeah, he was cool, right?
Because he was just fast. Yeah. Like that's a power. That's an absolute power.
That's power.
Also, let's just talk about how the dude was like, oi, like if you this man, he sucks souls, but he also like sucks the bank accounts of these fools as well. So like all of Kung Lao's dollars, they could be yours.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, yeah, all right, well, looks like I'm with these guys now.
Yeah, Kano, again, a reason why he's not a good character is because it's just like, there's nothing to him other than him being an Australian man that swears a lot.
Yeah.
Like he
doesn't even say fair dinkum.
He doesn't, does he? Right. But let me tell you, first 15, 20 minutes of Kano is like GOAT tier material.
Absolutely. I was like, man, this is good.
If this keeps up for the whole thing, that's hilarious.
I don't care about what any other heads say.
Yeah.
Because they can say whatever they want. He can just be like, bro, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, like Struth. That's what he was saying. I'll just be like, bro, that's wild.
Yeah, but then
Then he just becomes like misogynistic and whatnot.
Yeah, like bad.
Like straight away.
Bro, this is 2021 now.
But also, I guess because when you got no script, when you got no like proper like, ideas on the table, it's very much like, how can we make this man hated by the audience? Like, let's make him be racist, true. Even though that guy that was like sitting like diagonally from us found that quite hilarious.
The dude in the cinema was like, bro, casual racism, love it.
Yeah, he had the funniest laugh as well. which was unfortunate because I was like, dude, don't laugh at that because I will laugh at you.
Like he was sitting next to his girlfriend. Some mans was saying like, "Oi, this guy's a pussy, babe. This is hilarious,
babe, come back."
Like that's the kind of stuff. That was one of the lines.
Yeah, it was one of the lines.
And I was like, bro, I was looking at the man. I was like, I dare you to laugh. I dare you.
I think I laughed at that at the sheer just thought of what you was going through your mind. Because although you're not a person that reacts, there were parts in this that you reacted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what I was going to say was like, this is cheesy. There's no real story here. But I got to see Liu Kang throw fireballs. I got to see Kung Lao throw his hat.
Kung Lao was my favorite.
I got to see Shang Tsung go, like, your soul is mine. Like, leave their souls to me.
I didn't like him as much.
Raiden is one of my favorite characters. He got, like, shafted in this movie.
Also, who is the actor for Raiden? Because he looks like... Is he a big actor?
I think so.
I feel like I've seen him in...
A lot of these people are big actors.
Yeah.
Especially Shang Tsung.
Yeah, I know
Raiden.
Shang Tsung.
I don't know their names, though. The guy who plays Scorpion. Trying to think of what else he's from. Joe Taslim. From, like, the guy who plays... They've got big names in here. I don't know the rest, other than Kano, like Josh Lucas, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
But Vincent, this is the part where we look back on all the years of video game movies. We put them all together, man. We have a look. We go back into the memory banks and we see if this movie currently sits on top of the video game movie pedestal. And reminding you that there's not much to go up against.
Yeah, they should have made Mortal Kombat carts. That's my final say.
I'm going to say, out of everything that we've got so far in video game movies, this is the best video game movie that there has been.
Detective Pikachu is pretty good, though.
Detective Pikachu is good.
That was good because...
That's a sleeper video game movie as well.
That's a sleeper. It's not that good of a movie.
Yeah.
But it's good because you see the Pokemon and they're not real, but they're more real. And it's like, bro, this is good.
They look good. That's like, I mean, I know it's just like, Ryan Reynolds is my dad, now he's Pikachu. Like, spoilers, but...
Pikachu was hilarious. Though.
Yeah. Because, like, it's Ryan Reynolds.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
Like, what's he going to do? He's like the Hitman's bodyguard, I'm assuming. Or he is the Hitman. I'm not sure. I haven't watched that movie. But...
No, he's the bodyguard.
He's the bodyguard?
Of the Hitman, yeah.
I think the thing that Pokemon does as well... Detective Pikachu...
It goes.
It does go. Like we need a Mortal Kombat go where you just break someone's spot. You just go up to someone on the street, just take out their heart. Just be like, bro, is this what I do? It's Mortal Kombat go to jail. Like that's what it's called. Like strictly.
Mortal Kombat. Dude, Mortal Kombat go to jail.
Is that the tagline for this movie?
That's the tagline for this movie.
No, I think that for me, this sits on top of the pedestal because it didn't hold back on being exactly what it needed to be. As I said, Freddy Krueger. You can play as Freddy Krueger in Mortal Kombat and punch Jason Voorhees, and then like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre comes up, you can like snap his neck. Like what else do you want other than just like fatalities and people saying Kano wins when he's got like a man's reptile's heart in his hand.
That was killer.
Kano wins.
That was awesome, but also him killing the reptile.
Yeah, although they did Reptile wrong. Because Reptile was like a Sub-Zero scorpion-looking fella.
I was about to say, he wasn't actually like a lizard.
No.
Was he?
No, unless that's some other thing that we're not aware of.
Maybe.
But I assumed that was Reptile and he's like just some lizard.
But also, he could melt stuff with the acid in his... He was like on top of them. He could just spat on them.
Yeah, and they'd be like, oh, well, I'm dead. Like, it's going through every single part of my body.
No, but it was COVID. So you can't spit on people.
Do you think were there aspects of this movie that were affected by COVID?
Probably.
I think so, because there's a lot of scenes where it's just like 4 people in like a big like wasteland. Just standing like
that was another thing.
Distanced.
They're in Port Adelaide or the south side of Chicago, I don't know. And they take a plane and now they're in the desert. Yeah.
And also like the outer realm, like you could say that was in the same spot as Raiden's palace.
Yeah. They were next door to each other. They were neighbours. They share a postcode.
It looked like it. It did look like
they're going to the same post office to pick up their missed parcels.
Oh, yeah.
Like Raiden's there, like, oh, yeah, no, I need to get this new, like the thing that I bought off Wish app. And then, what's the other man's name?
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung's like, hey, Raiden, what's going on?
Like, where's those souls, bro? Like he's just, I'm just picking up souls, man. I don't even worry about it.
Yeah, you can get them on eBay now.
I'm a good guy now. Just get them on eBay. Like, this is ethical.
Also, there was something that just reminded me. There was something Kung Lao said about like I killed an orphan.
No.
He was
Killed an orphan?
It sounded like he killed some kid.
Are you talking about Liu Kang?
Liu Kang.
No, this is what happened. Liu Kang was a kid who was an orphan.
Yeah.
And then he was like joined up with the light crew, right? Whatever that crew was called.
And then to see the light, you got to kill this kid here.
No.
And this bloke's like, what?
No, there was a man who was a purveyor of particular items. And for that man, it was of kids. Like, that guy was like taking kids as like slavery.
Oh, okay. Because
Or
I
like
just
other
heard,
things.
I just heard kids and like killed him, and I thought he meant he killed the kids.
No, Liu Kang like killed that dude.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's all right.
This is what I'd like to see. If there's a sequel, which I mean, they lead to it in the end, they allude to the fact that Cole Young's going to Hollywood. I bet like his plane blows up on the way to Hollywood just because like no one wants him in the next movie. But shout out to that actor, man. Like, you're doing well. Like, you're doing Mortal Kombat. Like, come on, that's good.
I won't be surprised if he doesn't get a movie after this.
Unfortunately, that's the unfortunate thing. But Johnny Cage is the character that comes up. Citizen Cage. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I would like the second movie to be set in Mortal Kombat. Like, they
I want
actually
there to
do
be
the
an actual tournament.
And they go somewhere and they're like, they take boats there, and Shang Tsung's just like, well, we're at the tournament. I can't do too much bad stuff here. I'll just watch. I'll just watch with Raiden. We'll just hang out.
They're just eating popcorn together.
But I also
Raiden's eating popcorn. Shang Tsung's eating souls. She's got like a bag of souls.
Just a bag of green like orbs. I want to see Baraka.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Baraka. Because I remember that YouTube series and Baraka was in it.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Well, it wasn't a YouTube series. The one that we watched.
That was just like a random...
like a concept sort of thing that they were using to be like, this is what could happen if we get the budget to do a Mortal Kombat TV series.
That was cooler than...
That was very cool.
That's
movie. Cooler than most things that's been... I'd like to see Raiden. I'd like to see Smoke, who's like another version of Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see a proper reptile. Like, just give me all of them in the ninja suits. I don't care. I want a dude with a blue, like he's got a black ninja suit on. He's got blue like headband.
Yeah, that's right.
He's just got like some blue. Yeah, I want them all to look the same.
He's got a mask on. He makes things cold. Like scotch on the rocks. There you go.
Like my brother was saying, it's hilarious that these characters that everyone like, when you say Mortal Kombat, you think of Scorpion, you think of Sub-Zero. They're just copy and pasted, but change the color, and everyone was like, "This is amazing." Look at this guy.
Nah, bro, Scorpion looks so much cooler. Nah, Sub-Zero's sick, bro.
Speaking of Scorpion, Sub-Zero, let's quickly talk about that final fight.
Yeah, where he actually says, "Go over here," and I was like, "Yeah, this is what I came to watch."
But here's the thing: this movie got delayed by a week, right? In the trailer, when Sub-Zero says, "Get over here," he rightfully and understandably says it in a Japanese accent.
Oh, but this one he has it in.
It's just like the typical, like the normal Scorpion accent, like
"Get over here."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
One, it doesn't make sense that this man knows a word of English. He was from Japan centuries ago.
Yeah. The other thing was Sub-Zero centuries ago was talking to him in Chinese, and he was talking to him in Japanese.
But that has one of the best lines. He's like, "I don't know what you're saying, but I'm going to kill you, bro."
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
But there were some awesome bits. I wish I hadn't seen the trailer, because there's the one awesome bit in which Sub-Zero stabs Scorpion. His blood comes out. He freezes the blood and then stabs him with the blood. Like, that's amazing.
In the movie,
he did that in the movie.
Yeah, that was cool.
And there's a whole bunch of cool stuff, they're when Scorpion and Sub-Zero are fighting. And while this is all going on, like, Cole Young is like punching his frozen family
in the guts.
He's like, "Soo."
He's just getting some few wuzzes in,
He's like,
I'll be there in a second. I just need to practice.
He's like, "Man, my activity minutes, they're not even at 150 yet. Let me just do a couple of wuzzes over here.
Let me close a few rings.
I think that fight was great. But it was great until Sub-Zero was like, he got hurt and then he took off his mask, he took off his outfit, and he was just sort of in that, he was started off with. I was hoping that he was going to go just wild on him. And they had to really fight hard to like beat him.
Yeah, no, he just kind of
He
died.
just died after that, like pretty much instantly. But in saying that, then Scorpion like does the fire breath on him. And I'm like, that's wild. And he starts to turn into the skeleton. I'm like, that's cool. But in the next movie, I would like to see one, Sub-Zero is going to come back. He's probably going to come back as Smoke or something.
Yeah, because where there's smoke, there's fire.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. I want to see Scorpion. I want to see Baraka. I want to see Liu Kang just doing Liu Kang things.
I love when he did the kicks.
Oh, dude, the flurry of kicks.
The flurry of kicks. Oh, that doesn't work, bro. Like, you can't do that.
How do you continue
it
forward? Because he's Liu, man. It's Liu Kang.
Liu, man.
And like the fact that he's just throwing fireballs at people.
Wow.
That's amazing. I'd also like to see zombie Liu Kang. Do you remember there was that game where he like dies in the previous one?
That's
and then comes back?
That's the one that I played.
That's the one that you played?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Dude, like seen a man with like a red headband on with long hair.
Oh.
That's the best. But anyway, Vincent, this is the part where we tell them whether this movie was worth going to the cinemas for.
Well, I had a voucher, so it ended up costing us like $10 together.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's worth that.
And also, we should say in South Australia, like COVID is very, very. There's a lower risk of catching
very
COVID,
sparse.
so we can safely go to the cinemas. You know, in other countries, if we're in the States, I'd maybe say hold off. Like, you don't need to like look at it right now.
Yeah, but for me, it was worth it because like, I had a good time.
I had a great time. Yeah. I had a great time. This, as I said,
the movie was not good. The movie sucked.
The movie wasn't good.
But I loved the just... Honestly, I think if I had no other fan service except for Kung Lao saying flawless victory.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, bro, he did it to him. He did it to him.
Did he just do that to them? He did it.
He did absolutely did it.
And that was 100% a flawless victory. He didn't get touched by that lady.
He did not even get a scratch.
By that winged... I wish she was cool. But this is the other issue. Like, all these cool characters are dead now. Like, Melina's so cool.
Melina is a cool character. That dude with the hammer would suck.
Oh,
I don't like that.
Yeah,
is he in the games?
Yeah. Is he that dude that has, like, the baby on his back?
That's hilarious. Why didn't they put a baby on his back in this one?
I don't know if it was that dude, but there's this dude that, like, he's like this big thing and he has, like, this baby on his back and he can, like, kick the baby off. And, like, the baby, like, scurries off. Not like a baby. I think it's more like a small, like,
he throws
child.
the baby at you and it just like slashes your ankles.
Just go all out. Do a tournament, go all out. Put Freddy Krueger in there. Just put him in there. I'm excited for what could be potentially not a sequel. But Vincent, this is the part where you tell them.
Was it worth it for you the second time?
Yeah,
you already said that.
I just said, look, we've come out of 2020 here. Not everything needs, like, there's moments where we need to sit down in a cinema and we need to watch something that has some heart, that has, it tells us something about the society that we live in today. It tells us something about ourselves, right? We think about ourselves.
Yeah, this movie taught me that, whenever I'm down, just like look at someone that I love that's, frozen, hopefully, like, preferably frozen or almost getting beat up in a car. Yeah. And then, like, I'll be able to punch real hard.
You'll be able to get superpowers.
And I'll put on an Aquaman suit.
But what I was going to say was, like, sometimes you just need a movie in which, a person gets sawed in half and a dude comes out of a hat.
Yeah.
But hey, Vincent, tell them where they can find us.
Hey, everything's in the description in the show notes. Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, please. We don't have many followers.
We're also done
Instagram.
We got to like lift that tweet game.
I got to. Yeah. Anyway, follow us on YouTube. That's where it's at. Patreon. We're gonna do Patreon right now after this. We got content for after dark.
Hey, but also just on the YouTube, the video that's out now is hilarious.
Oh yeah, hilarious! Like, watch that, please. Do it for yourself, not for us.
Do it for yourself, man.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's farewell.
Yeah, farewell.